Hey, welcome to Toolbox. If you're trying to find AI tools that genuinely save time, improve quality, or help you build faster, this channel's for you. I don't just list features, I test the tools like a real user and show you the results on screen. If you have used AI video tools before, you probably already know the problem. A lot of them can generate one nice clip, maybe even a very impressive one. But the moment you want to turn that into a full video, the workflow starts breaking apart. You still need voiceover, music, sound effects, transitions, timing, captions, and some way to actually edit everything together. So today I want to test Skywork because this is trying to solve a much bigger problem. Instead of giving you one isolated clip, it positions itself more like an all-in-one AI production studio where you can build the full video workflow in one place. What caught my attention here is that Skywork is not only about text to video. The whole idea is that one prompt can generate the different layers of the project, including visuals, voice, music, and sound effects. And then you can still adjust everything on a timeline after that. So for this video, I want to test it the way most creators actually work. I want to start with a concept, turn it into a proper short video, and see whether this really feels like one workflow instead of 5 disconnected tools. So for this test, I am creating a short promo-style video from scratch. This is the kind of project that normally becomes annoying very fast because you need visuals, pacing, audio, and a clean final edit, all while keeping the result polished enough to actually publish. The first step inside Skywork is simple. I start with the idea and write a prompt that describes the kind of video I want, the mood, the pacing, and the general style. You can think of this like giving the platform a creative brief in plain English instead of manually building every asset one by one. That matters because if the starting point is good, the whole workflow becomes much smoother from there. Then I move to the visual layer, and this is where Skywork becomes more interesting than a basic one-click generator. If I already have a reference image, I can use image to video and animate it. If I want a cleaner transition, I can use start and end frame control. If I want the subject to stay more consistent, I can use subject reference images to guide the result. And if I need a fresh visual from scratch, Skywork also includes image creation for building the reference assets first. So instead of being locked into one method, I can choose the visual workflow depending on what the project actually needs. That is a big deal because different videos need different levels of control, and not every idea starts from the same type of asset. Another thing that makes this much more practical is the model flexibility. Inside Skywork, you can switch between different models in one place, including options like Seedance 2.0, Kling 3.0, and VO 3.1, depending on the type of shot or result you want. So if one scene needs a stronger cinematic look and another one just needs a faster or more affordable option, you can choose the model that makes the most sense for that task. I think this matters a lot because it means you do not need to subscribe to multiple AI platforms just to compare outputs or cover different parts of the workflow. Everything is already inside one system. And for creators, e-commerce teams, or marketing people who normally stack several tools together, using one platform like this could potentially save around $500 per month in subscription costs. What I like about that is the flexibility. Sometimes I want a cinematic motion shot from one image. Sometimes I want a product transition that starts in one scene and ends in another. Sometimes I want to keep the same subject but place them in a different setup. Those are very different tasks, and they usually mean jumping between multiple tools. Here, the point is that the visual generation is still part of the same production environment. I am not generating clips somewhere else and then rebuilding the whole project in another editor afterward. I am already inside the place where the final video is going to come together. After visuals, the next important layer is voice, and this is another place where the workflow usually splits. In a normal setup, you might generate visuals in one tool, then open another platform for voiceover, maybe another one for an avatar, and then bring everything back into your editor. Skywork tries to keep that in one place too. It includes talking avatars and built-in text-to-speech, with support for multiple languages and vocal tones. So if I want a digital presenter, I can use that. If I just want AI narration without leaving the platform, I can do that as well. For creators who make explainers, product demos, or presentation-style videos, that kind of built-in voice layer can save a lot of time. Then comes audio, and honestly, this is one of the parts that makes the workflow feel more complete. A lot of AI video tools still leave you with silent clips, and then you have to go find music, hunt for sound effects, and hope everything fits together. Here, Skywork lets you generate sound effects from prompts and also create original music by describing the vibe and instruments you want. So if I want a more cinematic build-up, a softer ambient track, or small effects that make the video feel more alive, I can create those elements directly instead of searching through random libraries. That is especially useful when you want faster production and fewer copyright headaches. Once all of those pieces exist, the part that really matters is editing, because this is where a lot of AI tools become frustrating. They generate something nice, but then you cannot really shape it. Skywork's pitch is different here because it includes a multi-track timeline where you can fine-tune, layer, and adjust the generated assets. That means I can move the music, tweak the voice timing, replace a visual, or rebalance the different layers instead of being stuck with one frozen output. And for me, that is the difference between a fun demo tool and something that can actually fit a real creator workflow. The moment I can still edit after generation, the tool becomes much more usable.
Creating videos used to take hours across multiple tools. Now, AI makes the entire workflow faster. Generate visuals, add voiceovers, edit scenes, and create complete content, all in one place. Less time managing tools, more time creating. This is AI-powered content creation.
Another part I think is very useful is templates. If you run out of creative ideas or you just need to move faster, Skywork gives you templates that can help you generate content in batches instead of starting from zero every time. That is a big advantage for creators who post frequently, but it is also very practical for e-commerce teams and marketing professionals who need a lot of content on a regular schedule. Instead of building every video from scratch, you can start from a strong format, customize the message, swap the assets, and scale output much faster. That makes the workflow more realistic for people who care about consistent production, not just one-off experiments. I also think this makes the most sense for a very specific type of user. If you are a solo creator, this can reduce the number of tools you need just to get one publishable video out. If you are on a marketing team, the templates, model switching, and multi-track workflow can help you move faster without relying on the same old stock assets every time. If you sell products online, the combination of visuals, voice, music, and quick editing can make short promo content much easier to produce. And if you are just into AI tools but want more control than basic one-click generation, this feels much closer to that direction. So overall, I think the main reason to look at Skywork is not that it can generate one cool clip. A lot of tools can do that now. The more interesting part is that it tries to cover the full production chain, from idea to visuals to voice to music to editing, while also letting you switch models in one place and use templates to scale output faster. That is what makes it feel more practical for real projects, especially if your current workflow is spread across too many apps and too many tabs. And for anyone who wants a more complete AI video workflow instead of another isolated generator, this is exactly the kind of direction that makes sense. If you want to try it for yourself, check the link in the description, and once I get the final creator code from the brand, I will also add the 20% discount there. And if you test it, I think the best way is to not start with a random prompt. Start with a real video you actually need to make, because that is where a tool like this either proves itself or falls apart. Skywork is interesting because it is clearly trying to handle the whole process, not just the flashy first step.